Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me go from 0 to hero on a Resto Druid in Dragonflight Season 4. At the moment, the poll is showing the same percentage for both Resto Druid and Holy Paladin, and I decided to go for Resto Druid because I've just played Paladin so many times in other videos that it feels like it makes more sense to play the Resto Druid. There's been some heated debate about which class I should play, or rather which spec I should play in heal as. Hopefully this doesn't upset a whole bunch of you, and if this is any consolation, the series is going to be a little bit shorter, so I'll get to play something else soon enough. The reason it's shorter is because this time I'm not going for a 3k or 2.8k rating. I'm actually just going to go for 2.5k rating, and I just want all the portals. I don't even want all portals on both weeks. I just want all the portals. So some dungeons on some of the like fortified or tyrannical week will actually not even be 10s. That's just because 2.5k rating is 2.5k rating and all portals is all portals. So I decided to go Night Elf because I think Night Elf is just really fun to play with the Shadow Meld. There's a few things I know I can Shadow Meld that can really make a big difference. So I think I'm going to go ahead with Night Elf. They also look cool as hell, so that's cool. And it's also been a while since I played Alliance, I think. So we're going to go with that. I don't like Exile's Reach, so we're just going to go for Shadow Glen. I'm not really going to show much of the questing or anything like that because editing it is a nightmare for me, so I just don't bother, to be honest. And it's also not particularly interesting. After years of imprisonment. Yes, very good. Good. Well, this isn't the first time I have this character made because I started recording this and then realized my microphone wasn't working because OBS decided something stupid and didn't make the microphone work. Anyway, so I have all my add-ons set up, which is kind of nice. I actually like that a lot. Now we just need to grab all of our, what are they called? Heirlooms, and we can get started. I have a set of all the armor types when it comes to heirlooms. That way I can just level whatever the heck I feel like. I prioritized just upgrading all the heirlooms that have haste on them. That's why you see some of these armor pieces aren't upgraded. It's because they don't give me haste. This gives me crit, this gives me haste as well, but I decided for this one, I wouldn't be able to tell you why. I also wouldn't be able to tell you why I upgraded this as well, because these have crit. Maybe my decision-making process wasn't all that clear to myself either, but anyway, we have a full set of heirlooms, so this is going to make leveling pretty chill. Gotta make sure I put this down on Alt F, the little heirloom necklace that lets you heal yourself. I'm going to forget that exists and never use it. So regarding the series, we just have a few rules. One of them is I can't send myself gold until I reach level 70, which is perfectly fine. We'll just get gold from the random dungeon finder, and we'll use that to buy bags so that we have some bag space. Once I'm level 70, I can send myself gold, but the gold I get from level 70 or from my other characters, I can't use that to buy myself BOE gear. I can use it for crafting and whatnot, but I can't buy myself BOE gear. I can also use it for whatchamacallit, consumables. Yeah, those things. This is just because it's really not part of the series to like grind out gold. It used to be way back when, but at this point, it's just not that interesting anymore. Another rule is obviously I cannot group up with anyone I know. I have to group up in pugs and do my whole pug thing. This is so that I can't just get carried by some friends who are decked out or anything like that. I have to actually join or host my own keys. I try my best not to take people that are just going to shit stomp the key when I do host keys. For the most part, I'm just going to be trying to join people's keys rather than use my own. Holy crap, Moonfire is just wiping these Grell out. But yeah, anyway, I need the pug. I can't do pre-mades. I will do pre-mades later on in the series when I'm just grinding, grinding crests in keys that don't give me rating anymore. Probably just worm crests in 2s. This is going to be done so that I can just gear up my character. I'm probably going to do it maybe even on stream. I don't know. I'm going to try and not play the series character on stream at all, and I'm not going to try to push any rating. And if it comes to that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recap of the rating I gained from the stream. Also, I don't know why I'm killing so many of these guys. I'm already done with the quest. I really don't need to. It's just fun to murder them. And I didn't pick up the other quest, which is for picking up these bags or whatever. Anyway, another rule is that I can't stay in the same group after I finish a run with a pug. Some people say that's still considered a pug. Some people say it's not really a pug, that it's then a pre-made. Most people didn't care when I polled way back when. I think I think that was still season 2. I'm not even sure. But way back when, I asked people and they didn't really care as long as I didn't get carried, so to speak. I decided to keep it simple and just not stay with the same group after finishing a dungeon. That way I can't forget about it or anything like that. The rules are very, very simple. I just need to go and find a different group or create a different group. Also, I'm killing the Grell again for no reason. They're fun to kill. I can't help it. I think there's some other rules. What are the other rules? I guess hitting 2.5k rating and getting all the portals. Those are the rules. Also, I forgot my chauffeur. I've been running around like some kind of plebeian when I could have summoned Franklin Martin. Franklin Martin's going to drive me around now. So how this video is going to look is basically every 10 levels or so, I'm going to show you a dungeon. I'm going to try and make it a dungeon from a different, like, what's it called? Expansion. So we'll probably start off with a TBC dungeon, then we'll do a Wrath of the Lich King dungeon, so on and so forth. You get the idea. And I'll be doing that every 10 levels. So at level 10, once I reach it, after questing a bit, of course I'm stuck here. Once I reach level 10, I will be doing a dungeon, and I'm probably just going to fast forward to that. So I'll talk to you when I'm level 10. The rare mob over here is Black Moss the Fetid is available, and we're just about to ding level 10. It looks like we're going to ding level 10 from killing Black Moss the Fetid. Imagine being called the Fetid like that's your nickname. That would be depressing. But yes, here we are, level 10. I have this extra quests to turn in. I may as well. No reason not to. But we're pretty much ready to go for the first dungeon. So I'm going to make my way over to Stormwind, set my Hearthstone over there, and start queuing up a bunch of dungeons. We're going to start with, I think a classic dungeon might just be the thing we want to do. Oh, of course, I should be picking Restoration Druid. Here we go. We are now a Resto Druid as of level 10. I guess Wild Growth wouldn't be bad to have, like an AoE heal, although I feel like I'll just put Rejuvenation on everyone and Swift Mend when the tank gets really low, and that'll be it, along with Life Bloom on the tank. I think. I have no idea how to play this spec. I've played it for like maybe 4 seconds while I was trying to put together some WeakAuras for a friend, but I guess we'll find out. Here we are in Stormwind. We're going to go ahead and select which one is it, Cataclysm. That'll give us classic dungeons. We're going to ignore this little quest here for the Heroes Call board. I'm not going to go outside of Stormwind until I'm done leveling, basically. To 60? Oh wait, no, it's time walking. So depending on whether or not I manage to get this character leveled quite quickly, we might actually... Yeah, cool. We can level with time walking potentially. That could be really, really good because time walking leveling is much, much faster than leveling with Dragonflight normal dungeons. And I feel like I'll see plenty of those Dragonflight dungeons in the series as it is. So random classic dungeon it is, and we're going to set it to healer. And I will also indicate that I am an experienced player and I'm comfortable instructing the group in how to overcome the encounters. So yeah, let's go do a random classic dungeon, and hopefully we don't get one of the weirdly scaled ones that ends up just one-shotting everyone in the group. Here's the hoping. In the meantime, I've made little macros because I just prefer mouse over macros over getting a bunch of different add-ons that work in a who knows what way, and sometimes work and sometimes don't work with Bartender. So I just make mouse over macros, and then I can just mouse over whoever I want to heal, and it heals them, and we good. And it looks like we're in Foulspawn Caverns, which is, I believe, part of Maradon. I don't know which part of Maradon it is, but as you keep going up here, you basically will get the quest, I think somewhere over here. Yeah, there it is. And it's just kill the rest of the dungeon. Our tank is Porn, and he seems to be busy just jumping around in circles. I think he's waiting for Thunder Dwarf to change their specs so that they can probably annihilate everything. They're now an Elemental Shaman. I don't know if they were something else to begin with. I don't expect to have to heal a whole lot because this is just a group of lobies. Yeah, the Feral Druid seems to be level 10. I'm level 10, so I could probably just Moonfire everything and it'll all die. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do so. And then if I need to heal someone, such as myself, most likely, I'm going to go ahead and do that too. I think I already see that I'm going to have to just set up a whole bunch of, what are they called? WeakAuras to track my different HOTS. Because right now I can't see what HOTS are on who. And I think that's going to be a pretty important thing to keep track of, obviously, as a Resto Druid. So when I get a chance, probably after this dungeon, I'm going to sit down and make unit frame trackers that are going to work really well. Again, all of these WeakAuras that I make, I'm saying again, even though I haven't mentioned it yet this video, but any WeakAuras that you see on the screen, I have them noted down, and you can get them on the DNV community Discord. I should probably give the tank some healing here. There we go. Nice big ol' Swift Mend that swiftly mends them. Not a lot of people know these dungeons, so they'll usually get a little bit lost of like, pull this stuff over here that doesn't need to be pulled, but all you need to go is this way. You can ignore that side. Unless you're bloodthirsty, you can go and murder that then. I don't know. I'm not your boss. For the time being, I'm not going to really cat weave because I have no cat talents, and I don't think I'll be getting them until way later because I'm just trying to like progress through the tree. I do want to kind of just get Sunfire so I can AoE dot things up and just call it a day. I think that'll be quite nice compared to, you know, using Thrash on a Druid, and then the ticks of Thrash don't really do all that much. You do have to go over here. Feral Druid seems to be quite aware of that. We're going to hot everyone up. I know it doesn't look like they have hots on them, but I assure you they do. You can see them ticking up. The reason this is like that is because my Shadow Unit Frames profile is set up in such a way that it only shows negative effects, and it assumes that I will have, whatchamacallits, WeakAuras set up so that I can actually track my hots that way, instead of relying on the Unit Frame add-on providing those HOTS for me, and also other positive effects that I apply. I'll keep adding the little effects bit by bit, in the sense of I'll keep creating the WeakAuras little bit by bit as I level and figure out what the different effects do. For now, I'm just gonna probably put rejuvenation on the tank every time I can and remember to, and just call it a day. And I guess I'll remove these roots from the tank. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of keybinds on a druid that I have already kind of an idea of where I want to put them, but when I play a healer, I make a lot of use of the Shift F, Shift G, Alt F, Alt G, F and G keys, which I usually use for other things on other characters, like offensive and defensive abilities. So it's going to be interesting to see how I manage to set up all my keybinds here. I'm pretty sure I can do it. Like, I'll just have to figure something out. I've already done some moving around. Like, for instance, Nature's Vigil is usually on Shift F. I'll probably, if I even have it, I will probably have it on Shift 2 or something like that. But yeah, there's not much for me to heal here. Most people can kind of walk through these dungeons pretty easily, even if they don't have heirlooms and stuff. And I have heirlooms, so I'm going to be pretty powerful, especially these early levels. And I say that, and then these little vile larvas or whatever explode and almost murder all of us. I'm just going to top myself off. Gonna do some actual regrowths instead of just spamming rejuvenation on people. So far, rejuvenation has been doing the trick because there's a lot of time between damage events, so the rejuvenation ticks, heals everything up, and then they're ready to get punched in the face again. Feeling a little bare without my what's it called? Stampeding roar. Like, I've almost pressed it like 5 times now, and then I remember like, oh, you're level 10, you're not going to be able to do that. I've already put the talents down here because you can actually drag these, like any activatable talents, you can take them and put them on your bar before you even have them. That way, as soon as you get them, you can start using them. It's kind of useful. Like, I try to do that when I make a new character. It's also a little bit overwhelming because I look at all these like activatable abilities over here on Restoration, and I'm like, where do I put these? What do I do? And then I panic a little bit, but then I remember I have all this time to level, and I have a bunch of keys that I can do before I start to get comfortable with the class, so there's plenty of time. And I'm also not going to be pushing too far with this series. Like I said, I'm only going to be going for like 10s at maximum to hit 2.5k rating, so I'm probably going to have a bunch of keys that aren't even at rank 10 on, like, for instance, Fortified or Tyrannical, depending on which one I find more difficult. I'm not going to push myself to do keys that I find very, very difficult just to get the rating. I'm just trying to get the keys done and the rating achieved and all of that good stuff. And with Razor Lash Dead, I do believe we're done with the quest. There we go. And with the dungeon, that is level 11 for us, almost level 12. Pretty cool. We don't have to keep going. The dungeon's over, so I'm going to leave Instance Group. Now we have Life Bloom, and we're going to set up some WeakAuras that are going to help us track Life Bloom and Rejuvenation and Regrowth. I guess Regrowth, maybe I don't need to track as much. Or maybe I'll just make it a smaller icon. I don't know. We'll see. At any rate, I need to set them up so that I know who I have and haven't hotted already. But I'll do that between now and the next time I see you, and that is in a level 20 dungeon. And here we are in a TBC dungeon for level 20. It took a while to get here because, first of all, I had to make WeakAuras, which took a hot minute because there were quite a few to make. So I made one for Rejuvenation, one for Life Bloom, which is always going to be first. Made one for Regrowth, that looks like that. And I made one for, hold on, that's the wrong button. Here we go, for Wild Growth. There we go. Now I can track all of those HOTS. It's very nice. And I also have one for Cenarian Ward, which manifests as me having not done the WeakAura correctly. That's how it manifests. But basically, it's supposed to show up as like a little outline thingy. I'll show you when I fix it at level 30 dungeon or whatever. This is going to be a bit of a rough one. We're going to have to put all our HOTS up on our buddy here. Yes, to make sure that he survives. Very good, actually. Holy crap. That guy just did it easy mode. Our rogue is intent on murdering themselves by beating the crap out of the boss. Hopefully this doesn't kill our... What am I even casting? I don't even know what I'm doing. What the hell is going on? I was gonna say, hopefully this doesn't kill the quest NPCs, because sometimes they'll get lured into this room and they'll fight and they'll die, and then you can't turn in your quest at the end, and it's kind of annoying as hell. But yeah, the reason the rogue died was because he was hitting Pandemonius over there while he had like a reflect thing going on, so that didn't really work out that well for the rogue. Right now, I'm really not doing much damage wise because mostly people have just been one-shotting mobs, so I don't really have much of a reason to hit them. I just let the DPS do their thing, and I try to like pepper in little sunfires and moonfires so that I can do a bit of damage. Or if a fight is lasting a little bit longer, I'll do a starfire so I can do some AoE. That's pretty much it. I haven't been doing too much because, like I said, I don't really need to. Unless the group is extremely slow, I usually try just to not really hit the mobs before the tank gets to them. I guess I could open up with Starfires. Like right here, a Starfire would be good because they're gonna live long enough for me to actually cast it, which is always like a concern. Everyone's a little low, so we're gonna hit them all with a Wild Growth. There we go. And I'm just gonna focus on keeping Life Loom up on the tank. Everything else is kind of secondary. Rejuvenation is also good, I guess. And I'm silenced. I get to stand there. Well, actually, I can go kitty cat form. Never mind, now I'm feared, so I can't do that either. But it gives me a chance to remember that I need to summon in Danny. There we go. Can't be running dungeons without Danny accompanying me. Can I get a Starfire cast off? Ooh, it looks like I did, maybe. I don't really know, actually. Possibly. I'm not bothering to change into Moon Conform. I do have it, obviously, but it's just not worth the time. Put Wild Growth up. Only managed to put it on a few people, so I'll put Rejuvenation on everybody else. Sunfire and Moonfire on this. Spread it out. I should probably just Cat Wave, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's just go kitty cat form. Beat the crap out of the boss. Our Shred does so much damage that it's not even funny. Yeah, look at that. Look at how much Shred did there. Through all those hots and dots and, or sorry, not hots, but just dots. Shred just absolutely shredded it. It shredded the health bar. Anyway, we're waiting for the tank to come in and actually do his job. Or I guess we can just go kitty cat form and swipe them to death. Everyone's grouped up so I can do Wild Growth. I would love to remove this poison, but I don't actually have Improved Nature's Cure yet. Okay, we're going for a big old pull here. I'll put my hots up on the tank and then go kitty cat form. Okay, that lasted a whole 2 seconds. And the 3 globals that it took me to actually switch into cat form after hotting up the tank, the fight was over. So here we are. Okay, now I have the hots rolling before we went into combat, so I'm just gonna start swiping and chomp this guy. Damn, the bite does a lot of damage. So cat form is just the way to go. These are wasted talents in my opinion. I guess I will need them because I like Typhoon, especially like on Sanguini week. It's gonna be very useful to have Typhoon. I'll have to take a look at some of the builds that people are actually running. Also, yes, I know I'm new. I would appreciate it if you just let me figure out the class on my own. I know that there's probably a lot of Resto Druid players out there that are telling me that are going to be more than happy to tell me how to play. I would appreciate Nature Lock. Cool. I'm just gonna have to hope for the best here for our healer, or for a healer, for a tank. I'm the healer. But yes, I was saying, try not to tell me how to play the game. I like figuring things out at my own pace. It kind of stresses me out when people tell me how to play, because it places this expectation of me performing as they told me to, and that just stresses me out. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Did one of those just like insta-die? Am I stupid? What happened there? I think there was a touch of death. No. I guess something one-shot one of those guys. We're waiting on... I'm just going to start moonfiring. I'm just going to do that. Just going to go ahead and do that. I'm silenced, so hopefully aggro is put on the tank. There we go. Tank took aggro. I have been feared, so I have to kind of watch my tank struggle. We're going to try and swift mend him to full health. Reapply that rejuvenation after Swiftman consumes it, and he's nice and safe and happy and lucky and continuing to do the dungeon without the DK that decided to release. All right, well, here is a good time to get silenced and just kind of watch the group do the pull. All right, we're going to use this. I'm going to remove the fear from the tank. I want to get away from those leeches because they explode and do damage, and then I don't have to deal with it if I get away from them. As I step back into the last leech, take damage. We're going to put the hots on the tank. We go in and we spam or swipe and we bite and we shred, and I guess I can shred these things too. There we go. Hey, the DK made it back just in time to loot the boss. Very good. And one final shred and one final bite at 50 energy to consume extra energy to do extra damage, and a shred for the ethereal beacon, and we're good. And we're just gonna give a quick buff to the DK and head over to the entrance so we can turn in quests, and that's it. Oh, I can finally get nature swiftness. That's good. But yeah, I'm still getting used to hotting up and then going into cat form, I guess. Before that, I was just, spamming Sunfire. Well, not spamming, but putting Sunfire and Moonfire on as many as I could. But it turns out things die too quickly in leveling dungeons, so there's not much point. I know that cat weaving is better than boomkin weaving at the moment, so I guess I should probably practice that rather than doing boomkin weaving. Anyway, I'll talk to you in the level 30 dungeon, where I will hopefully have fixed my scenario and ward issues. But yeah, let me show you. Just when I put it on myself, this is supposed to appear on others as well. I just haven't made it work for others, and I'm not sure why. I'll have to check the WeakAuras. Again, mentioning the WeakAuras, if you want the WeakAuras that are tracking the unit frames, you will have to get shadow unit frames, and you'll have to get my WeakAuras. For the ones down here, there's only the mana bar right now. I'll add more stuff later. Those will also be part of my D&D class set of WeakAuras. Here we are with the level 30 dungeon, which is a Wrath of the Lich King dungeon. Looks like we got a Jol Narub, an old favorite of mine, actually. I love the part where everyone dies on the first pull because they think they can pull the whole dungeon, myself included. I also was one of those deluded people that thought they could pull everything. We've got Garlic tanking for us as a Blood DK. Poor bastard made the wrong decision when creating his tank character. No, I'm not still salty. Now let's see what Garlic decides to do. He might just be fully busted and ready to go. I do have my my Grove Guardians, Stumpy, Lumpy, and Steve. They should be able to help us out here if the worst happens and we pull the whole room. It does look like we're planning to pull the whole room. Okay, 2 of these guys have been pulled. So far, so good. I'm just gonna start putting out the AoE heals. I fixed the Cenarian Ward WeakAuras, and I switched completely from the Boomkin thing to just cat form, just for the time being. Later on, I will go down this and maybe grab Typhoon and all that stuff, but for now, I don't think I need to. I've noticed that AoE wise, cat form doesn't do all that much for me. Like Thrash doesn't do much, and I don't have a way to AoE, but single target, it's quite strong. We luckily didn't pull the whole room, so we're looking pretty good. I'm gonna drop all my hots on Garlic and just go to town on the boss. There shouldn't be much AoE damage necessary here. Anything. What the heck? It just fell over. It's already dead. I didn't think it would, thought it would like get to summon its ads or something, but no, it just fell over. Okay, cool. Well, that works for me. Less work. I'm gonna go stealthy stealth and then jump down here and just hope. Okay, they don't have like true sight, so they don't see me. Just gonna wait for the rest of the party to join me. I didn't feel like running all the way around like a plebeian. All right, Garlic's ready to go, so we're just gonna put our hots on Garlic, go back into kitty cat form, and watch as the mob falls over and dies. That's been the Resto Druid experience so far in leveling dungeons, is I put up my hots and then I go cat form and everything's dead. Which is okay. I mean, I think that's kind of going to be the case for most of the like key levels, because things just don't live long enough for me to actually get my DPS in, because I have to hot everyone up and then go do my thing, which just doesn't work out. Okay, Hadronox is here. I can't seem to stealth, so I don't get my extra shred damage, but that's okay. Put our bleeds on Hadronox and just kind of hope for the best yet again. We're going to put up our wild growth, reapply our hots. Let's send, never mind. I was going to send Stumpy out, but it looks like Stumpy is not necessary. We've killed Hadronox, so we can just keep running now. This is a very short dungeon when you murder everything this quickly. I used to like to play Shaman here and whatchamacallit, DK as well, because what you could do is you could go in down here first and then use Path of Frost, or like just cast at people as they're falling down. You can cast Water Walking, and then they just hit this ground like it's bricks and and they pass away violently. Looks like Garlic's trying to make his way over here. People are running up ahead of Garlic, but that's okay. Oh, I have movement speed to give Garlic. Right. I just got Stampeding Roar, the last level that I got. It's on a 2-minute cooldown because I don't have this cooldown reduction thing that's going to take a while to get, but no biggie. All right, let's hot up people, including Garlic, and then stealthy stealth. I can't stealth because there's probably a bunch of stuff still upstairs in combat with us. That's fine. I'll just go without the stealth. We'll make do without. The reason I want to stealth is because my shred does a bunch more damage as when I'm stealth. Not like it makes a big difference though, but the damage is spread out pretty evenly between all the characters here, so that's kind of nice. Put up all my dots. Maybe the dots keep ticking while he's underground. Nope, he just removes all the dots, so that was pointless. I think we'll have enough damage to finish an Uberak off before he does another submerge. I don't know, maybe on normal difficulty he doesn't actually submerge twice, maybe he only submerges once. I know on heroic he submerges twice, and it's like scripted percent-wise or something. I don't know. That's how I remember it. It's been a while. There's probably some World of Warcraft classic enjoyers here. They're like, no, he doesn't. And I'm sorry, I yield to your experience. That's just how I remember it. It's been a hot minute since I've played it. Mostly just play TBC dungeons when leveling. Between these, like every 10 level dungeons, I've just been running TBC dungeons because they're super fast and give you a lot of EXP from just kills and everything. And now we have the world's slowest 6-legged animal. All those legs and you still slow as hell. We're just gonna wait for our buddy here to make it downstairs so we can turn in our quests. I do have efflorescence. I haven't used it a single time because it's just not worth my global. It's just straight up, it doesn't do anything because we kill things so quickly that it doesn't make sense to use it. I'm guessing later on it'll be kind of a pain in the ass to get used to using it since I'm not using it during leveling, but hopefully it's not too big a deal. Anyway, that's the level 30 dungeon. See you in the level 40 dungeon. Here we are in the Stone Core for our level 40 dungeon. I just figured I'd do Cataclysm next, so I may as well do the time walking one. Okay, we're gonna slap on all of our hots onto this. Okay, well, I guess the mobs are dead, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna put the hots on the tank and then just go full zug zug. Just go kitty cat form, kitty cat go roar, rip everything to shreds. By shredding them and what's this other one called? Raking them, and we're gonna kick that. I actually invested a point into whatchamacallits, the interrupt, because I figured since I'm in cat form for a majority of my dungeons lately, I may as well have the interrupt available to me. Give people some movement speed and move on. I've been mostly just putting out a tree every time we start a fight, and it's been more than enough to keep people alive, although here it looks like I might actually have to do a bit more than just that. Put some extra hots out with a tree healing as well. It should be no issue at all. There we go. I don't do much damage, but then again, compared to this person, we're not going to be able to do much damage. I am going to try and do the quests because I am still like relatively low level, so the quests I think will give me a good chunk of EXP. Didn't get the stealth before fighting this thing, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Wild growth into a tree, into a life bloom on this person, back into kitty cat form, and murder. It's been pretty fun. Like, I just send my dude out and he just does everything for me. Like, he does all the healing that I need to do. I don't think it's going to be quite like that in M+ runs, but I guess, you know, it's good to build the habit of having the dude out. Also, I need wild growth again and another dude out. And oof, that earthquake actually really hurt. We're gonna go ahead and get out of kitty cat form and die. That's cool. Well, does this teleporter? Ah, no, the first teleporter takes me to the dragon boss. Maybe I shouldn't have released. I could have maybe been battle resed. Those earthquakes got me. I wasn't paying attention. I have a talent point available, but I seem to be in combat due to my dots still ticking on the enemies that are being fought. Okay, I'm out of combat, so now I can pick something. What do I even take? Let's take this one for life bloom. Heck it. Someone just went down. I have this movement speed ability to grab. Okay, I made it back. Tank's very sturdy. He's really not giving a shit. We're gonna jump for this quake. Managed to avoid it. Can I reach this person? I can reach this person. They're being rezzed by somebody else, so I'm just gonna go ahead and run towards the boss. The tank is giving zero craps about the rest of the group. He's just holding the W key. A little bit of a cluster, but we're making it work. Okay, at least the tank's waiting before we fight the boss. That's good. Oh, he was waiting for me, it would seem. I'm like pre-hotting, but I don't think it's gonna make a big difference. The tank's been pre-hotted, although the tank needs like the least amount of healing here from what I've seen. Didn't get the stealth again, but that's okay. It's just for one shred anyway. I'm just gonna put 2 trees out, and that should be enough, I think, to keep everyone nice and healthy. Boss is almost dead. Put another... I didn't see the circle. I'm so stupid. At least we get the teleport now. I'm just gonna grab this thing rather than... Whoa, I spam clicked it, so it just kept teleporting me back and forth. Do we get the mount? We do not get the mount, unfortunately. But we do get a cloak, but I have a cloak, so it doesn't matter. I've died twice already this dungeon. This is embarrassing. I'm pre-hotting the tank, but the tank doesn't seem to need it at all. What I should be doing is just hotting myself. Okay, we finally got a stealth in. I'm gonna look to one-shot the sentry so we don't have any issues. All right, tank's finally taking some damage. We're gonna cleanse that off of them. Go kitty cat form, kick the eruption, and do a bit of damage. Can I stealth? I can stealth. Yay, we get the extra damage on the shred. Very good. Life bloom should top off the tank. It's fun. Oh my goodness, that frontal nearly took me out. I need to be more careful about my positioning. These have just been really rough. I gotta admit, I'm not having the greatest of times here. These big guys are scary. I need to just stay the hell away from them. Maybe I should boom weave, like boomkin weave instead of this, just to like have an easier time surviving, because I could just stay at range and not worry about the frontal as much. Now here I have to keep everyone nice and healthy. Try and put regrowth on everything. Not regrowth, sorry, the other thing. Whatever. You know what I mean. Wild growth, that growth. Lots of growing with druids. All right, there's a life bloom. Now, hopefully we don't have a bunch of people get one shot. There's the bulwark. I can't remove that. I don't have any kind of purge or anything like that. Ground slam is frontal. Yeah, see, that's in front of the boss. I'm gonna put a couple of these out, giving movement speed just to make sure people... Okay, it died before that happened, so we're good now. That was scary, because that circle will one-shot. It'll straight up one-shot. It doesn't matter if you're overgeared or anything like that, unless you have like a super-duper big defensive going. You're probably gonna get one shot by that. At least here I don't have to worry too much about taking damage from these guys, even if I rip aggro. Not that I've been ripping much aggro. Oh man, this guy's scary. I'm gonna put my bleeds on him and then just try to stay away from him. Okay, life bloom on myself, regrowth on myself, put a tree on this dude, then regrowth. Efflorescence somewhere over here. This is the first time I'm casting efflorescence in this dungeon because there just hasn't been much use for it. Okay, we can pre-hot now because this boss has like a little bit of a thing where he or she floats down and you can't really do all that much damage damage. Although the group managed to do about 10% of her health in that short time. Oh, there's a curse here. I can finally use my decurse thing. Although it takes me out of cat form, so that's a little bit annoying. We're gonna put down all the trees, and the boss is dead. Leveling dungeons, am I right? Do I have like a turn in? I think I have a turn in for this, but I have to go all the way to the start of the dungeon. I guess I can teleport out and back in. That'll work. There we go. 2.8k EXP. Okay, maybe it's not worth it anymore at level 40. At level 35, it was worth it because that's what you get scaled down to, so you get the full EXP. But yeah, at 40, not so much. Or I guess 42 now. Wait, I'm already 42? Dude, time walking is so fast. I feel like I'm slowly getting used to trusting my HOTS, but also like when people dip very low and I don't have HOTS running and I know that there's more damage coming, I have no idea what to do. I just panic. And then I'm usually stuck in cat form, so I can't. Maybe I just need to move Life Bloom to what? It's not Life Bloom. What is it? Swiftmend. I need to move Swiftmend to some different keybind or something. Maybe Alt F? Yeah, maybe Alt F is the keybind I should have it on, just so I can very quickly heal someone with it, even in cat form. Because my issue is if I'm in cat form, I don't have access to Swiftwind on the old keybind, which was G, because that's where I keep my rake. Anyway, slowly but surely, I think I'm getting used to Resto Druid. I'm not very good at it, or maybe it's just not very good during leveling dungeons. I don't know. That's my experience, like from a tank perspective before. When I have Resto Druids, I'd usually be like, okay, well, people are gonna probably die from damage because I don't know, Resto Druids and leveling dungeons just don't seem to do all that great. But maybe it's just me. Anyway, I'll talk to you in the level 50 dungeon. And for level 50, or I should say 51, because I accidentally overleveled and I almost even went to level 52 without realizing, we have a Warlords of Draenor dungeon. We're going to go ahead and try and, well, I failed to interrupt that, so at least, you know, it's the thought that counts. Off to an interesting start here with being completely overwhelmed because I forgot how to play the class after taking a break of about 15 minutes. I forgot how to change into cat form and and also I forgot that I am indeed the healer. But luckily, nobody's really taking any damage. Oh, excuse me. That was a bit of a hiccup. I tried to give people movement speed. People are going to the right, to the left. Which side are we going? Tank's going this way. Let me mark the tank, or Steve the tank, or George the tank, anything, just so I know where he's going. Things are just falling over. I feel like there's not much point in me bothering to heal, because I don't think anything's really going to do any damage. I think mostly twinks play Warlords of Draenor dungeons, like level 10, level 20 twinks, or whatever, trying to get the Warforged gear to drop. So when you do go into a dungeon like this, you can just expect people to one-shot things. Yeah, see, like this warlock is just running ahead and pulling absolutely everything. Well, I guess this one's casting over here, so maybe I need to do this. We're going to use nature's, what's this thing called? Nature's swiftness, and so we can cast our regrowth while still in cat form. Now that I've used that, I have no other way to really keep healing in cat form other than my Lumpy, Stumpy, and Steve. The squad, the Grove Guardians. I almost called them Grove Tenders. Grove Tenders something else. Is it? I don't know. Maybe they also tend while they guard. I don't know. What the hell am I even saying at this point? I don't know. I'm just trying to keep this interesting while we walk through this dungeon. Well, there's level 52. I don't know. I guess I should be working my way towards improved stampeding roar just so I can use it more often, because 2-minute cooldown feels kind of bad. Warlock is still trying to think he's the tank by walking forward and hitting everything. I'm going to kick this just to keep things moving so that they can group up. It's actually kind of better if you don't kick the domination because, I mean, here it doesn't matter. Right, you just kind of do whatever and it, you know, the mobs fall over. But let's say you're doing I don't know, they bring it back for M+. I don't know, I think you don't want to kick the domination because then they cast this really nasty spell at you. Also, you can avoid activating any of these by walking around like this, but people don't usually do that, so they also activate other ones. I'm just gonna send the Treant out after, what's it called, the tank, and just let the Treant do the healing while I stay in cat form. I think that's basically gonna be the go-to for the rest of this dungeon. I'm not going to bother going out of cat form unless I run out of treants. Again, the domination shouldn't be interrupted. I'm going to go ahead and interrupt it just so I can keep these things grouped. Never mind, there's the rending void lash that we were trying to avoid. And there's another spirit in the back, hitting it from the back. Why am I in bear form? All right, I used incapacitating roar, which puts you in bear form. I was like, wait a second, that's not a cat. I can still recognize the animals. If I do need to do any healing, I'm just going to go ahead and use, well, I'm going to roar again because I don't want those going off. But yeah, like I said, I'm just going to use the treants. It should be more than enough. I'm kind of running ahead of the tank here, even though I have him Steved or marked or whatever you want to use. Warlock's probably dying because of his little, whatchamacallits, burning rush, I think. I don't know. He seems to just be perpetually low. I'll use a treant. Get him, Steve. Or is that Lumpy? or Dumpy. I don't know which one of them it is. I can never tell them apart. They're identical triplets. I did put up some hots just now because there was nothing for me to hit, so I figured I may as well, while moving, apply my hots. Somehow the Warlock is just consistently taking... He's not even using Burning Rush, he's just dying, and I don't know why. I don't understand. Here's the Corpse Breath. It's going out all the way in the back, but I think we can kill the boss before we need to run away. Yeah, he's dead. Do I have 20 seconds until the next roar? I really want to get this improved stampeding roar. Send out Steve or Lumpy or Dumpy or whoever that one is. Let's just send them all out. Screw it. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because there's like a boss fight coming up. Oh well. What are you dying? Oh, he has a dot on him. That's what he's dying to. Okay. I understand. Understandable. Carry on. We can stealth, get a bit of extra damage on our shred, and then do this. Rake both of them, put that dot up on them, because the rake does quite a bit of damage. Okay, we need the help of one of our Grove Guardians. Okay, now he's using Burning Rush, that's for sure. Oh, nice. Bigwig's actually skipped that cinematic for us. I'm gonna go ahead and use Nature's Swiftness to heal our friend here. There we go. We'll use a Grove Guardian on him. I was gonna put up a rip on the boss, but the boss is basically dead, so yeah, we're done with that. And that's level 53. Wait, I got 2 levels from that? No way. Well, I got a level when I started, and then I got another level for finishing it, I guess. But yeah, I guess I'll see you in the level 60 dungeon. Yes, 60. I was going to do a Legion dungeon for level 60, but unfortunately I'm unable to go into the timeline for Legion with Chrome. She just doesn't let me. But we're gonna go ahead and open up all of these satchels that I have looted from doing all the dungeons. The reason I'm opening them now instead of while I was leveling is because they will scale all the way up to level 60. So opening them now gives us the most gold and the most stats. So let's see if there's anything useful. Gloves are an upgrade. Wrist is an upgrade. Boots are an upgrade. 1 ring, 2 rings, a belt. Looks like we got just about everything we could get. Very, very nice. The rest of our gear is just heirlooms, so there's no reason for us to replace them. You can see that I'm just not going to be using these chests and helmets and stuff like that, but we will vendor those we have left over, and that's going to be a good little bit of gold. They're like 30 gold a pop. Pretty good. This matters even more when you're leveling using time walking dungeons like I have been. It's been a bit rough as far as gold is concerned. I only have 3.5k gold and I'm already level 60. The issue is time walking dungeons, when you queue for time walking dungeons, you don't get any gold. You just get these time warp badges and a bunch of EXP. Obviously, it's a lot better than doing these because, see, for a random dungeon from BFA, I only get 6k experience. I'm thinking about just doing a Dragonflight dungeon. Yeah, I think I'll do a Dragonflight dungeon just to get a good chunk of EXP instead of just a miserable, what is this, 6k? That's nothing compared to the 54k that I get from random Dragonflight. Or the 81k I get from Time Walking, but I've already done a Time Walking Cataclysm one. So what I'll do is I'll just do a random Dragonflight one, and then at level 69... right before I hit level 70, we'll do another Dragonflight one. Oh, here we are. I actually didn't realize I was in this dungeon. I was like straight up just staring to the side of the screen like an idiot. So here we go. This is a bit of an unconventional start to the dungeon, but yeah, we'll get our captive freed here. Okay, somebody was already on top of it. We're pulling these guys from over here. Who's pulling? I don't know. We'll put Square on the tank. Okay, there's a paladin over here trying to pull. I think it was a paladin. No, it's the DK. The DK thinks he's a blood DK. He's just unholy though. What the hell is going on? This is a poop show. A poop show. All of this poop is flying everywhere. Like they're monkeys and not hyenas. Okay, I think we've stabilized. Holy crap, I was so flustered there because I didn't realize that a dungeon had popped and I had entered. I was very confused for a second. I was literally on my other screen looking at a movie on Netflix. Bit of a shit show. Tank is taking his time and he's grabbing the thingy things with the stuffy stuff, the Tuskar. We can avoid pulling that group. We don't exactly need to... Okay, I guess we're pulling that group. Tank decided that we want to pull that group. I guess I can do some kitty cat form here. Things are surviving long enough. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. I cast my Soothe before the guy finished casting his Rage Storm, so I couldn't actually interrupt the Rage Storm. We're going to stealth, so we get extra damage on our Shred, and then we're going to use our Bite because we're at 5 combo points. Overwhelmed. Absolutely overwhelmed. But luckily nobody really needs healing so far, so it's been pretty smooth. Let's see if the DK decides to go for another... yeah, he does decide to go for another pull. He seems to be level 70, so I'm pretty sure he can just pull whatever he likes. You go ahead and kick that Withering Burst. That's not going to make it move over because it's going to do the K-Surge right afterwards. It's surprising that those two are not from the same school of magic. You would think that they'd be able to just, you know, that he'd be silenced and not be able to cast. The tank needs to start opening the cages and move forward and actually do the tanking, but apparently we have a level 70 DK, so it doesn't even freaking matter, does it? Well, I'll keep a life bloom on the tank and the off tank, which I guess is the DK, and just keep kitty cat forming, and when I need to, I'll pop some, what are they called? Grove Guardians. I almost said Groove Guardians, like they're into a funky rhythm. As expected, the Unholy DK is not making a great tank. I just took aggro there for a second. Let's see, does he actually get the cast off? He did start swinging, like spinning, but it didn't really matter. Okay, let's try and top off this. Whoa, I'm healing like next to nothing. Holy crap, this is gonna be very interesting. I guess I'll stay in close range so I can actually just keep whatchamacallit. Okay, things are dying so quickly it really doesn't matter, I guess, because we have the decked out, what's it called, Unholy DK. Yeah, look at that, he just did, well, it says 29k, but that's because it's scaled to my level. He probably did a crap ton more DPS than that. Please go right. Thank you for going right, I appreciate it, because there's no reason to go left. Even in a leveling dungeon, you don't want to go left. Going left is, it's just a pain in the ass because there's a lot of like AoE damage and a lot of stealth mobs, and it's just it causes issues. And ding 61, let me see, there's something here that I really want. Photosynthesis, but I can't get it right now, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Totem's gonna go away because we killed the Rot Singer. This is such a shit show, Jesus, like it's so fast paced. All right, let me just keep my hots up. Keep my hots up on the two people that have aggro the most. There we go. And as they're about to expire, I'm gonna pop. Should I? Screw it. I'll pop the thingy thing. What's it called? Flourish, so that the hots stay up for longer. But that felt like a bit of a waste, if I'm being honest. I'm actually gonna. Should I even put bleeds on anything? It's just so. It feels so pointless to put bleeds on things because things die so quickly. I feel like I'm gonna have this issue for a while here. I want to kick that. There we go. I managed to actually shapeshift and kick that. Rotsinger's dead, so the totem goes away. I'll put hots on people that have the dots, since I cannot dispel the actual what's it called, the diseases, because as a druid you can't dispel diseases. You can dispel poisons and curses, but you can't dispel diseases. And obviously magic, every healer can dispel magic. In terms of whether I'm doing well or not, I have no idea, because like literally these people do not need me to heal them at all. Honestly, I'd probably make next to no difference to how much healing is being taken, so I may as well just play like I'm a DPS. I'll just use the trees to heal when I need to, if somebody gets low, which I don't think will happen. I'm just gonna sit in cat form and keep shredding. Yeah, let me just actually put, I think liveliness is what I want. I remember looking up a build, but I didn't really do much other than looking it up. I didn't really read into it. I know that I want photosynthesis, and then I want a life bloom on myself at all times, and then probably on the tank. Okay, well, we're gonna be pulling these guys because the demon hunter, or not the demon hunter, Jesus, the DK just kept walking forward. He's gonna keep walking forward because he just feels like killing things, so that's going to be a thing. This feels like Pandaria Remix, where there's one person that's clearly overgeared for the content, and then the rest of us just get to play in his game. Oh, but at least someone's actually taking damage. It's the paladin. I guess he ripped aggro or something for a little bit because he popped off on the DPS over there. I'm leaping in with my little thingy thing, what's it called, wild charge. I decided to use it because it's just very nice to get around with. I think the biggest like thing that I can show off here is mobility and the like usefulness of hots, I guess. I'm just gonna prolong the hots there. Why am I not in cat form? There we go. Trap's going on me. I'll just step over here. I need to make WeakAuras for Resto Druid, like a little bit more than just the ones that I'm using over here to follow things, follow my hots. I'm just going to go ahead and I kicked that, but we're not moving the mob, so I feel like that kick was completely useless. Then again, I have been completely useless for most of this dungeon. I don't know what the tank wants to or doesn't want to pull. Okay, he wants to pull everything, so I guess I might as well shred, and I should hot up the tank. Actually, just stay, Vlad, just stay in cat form. Stay in cat form other than to remove Rage Storm, apparently. Stay in cat form and use the trees. There we go. Put the trees out. People are spreading them diseases. This is like a Trump rally during COVID. Oh, goodness. Oh, gracious. Oh, no. I pulled this because I was trying to get away from people. This person has 9 stacks. We're going to go ahead and res them. Panicking, panicking, panicking. Okay, I have to actually heal now, so let's go ahead and heal now. Use my... I don't know what to do here. What do I do when someone's... They've got so much HP that, like, I can't do anything to actually move their HP bar. I'm gonna go ahead and try and res this person that's waiting for us to res them. The tank and the DK are just gonna fly off into the distance and never to be seen again. But I kept the not the paladin, the DK alive long enough for him to kill everyone, so that's something, I suppose. Hot everything up. I don't have photosynthesis yet, so I'm just using Life Bloom on 2 different targets. I think that's okay. We have Rotting Surge here. I'm going to Bear Roar that just so it stops actually casting. The Rotting Surge is a bit of a pain in the ass. Moonfire. That's all the damage I can really do. Drop this little circle here. Wild Growth. I have no idea how useful Wild Growth is. I'm assuming that's my, like, just keep it up during AoE damage kind of thing, because it does have a cooldown. I have no clue. I have been unable to learn basically anything from this because the runs have just been so stupidly easy that I barely ever have to actually heal anything. Okay, tank's standing in the circle. You're just gonna load him up with hots. He has 4 stacks of the dot. It's not exactly great, but our hots should be enough. Boss is already dead because the DK just punched the keyboard and the boss fell over. Well, that's the level 60 dungeon, a complete cluster cluck. I have no idea what's going on there, but hey, it worked out. I got some EXP. Now I can leave, thankfully, and go do time walking dungeons all the way to 69, and then we'll do another normal Dragonflight dungeon to hit 70, and that is when I'll see you. Long last, we are now at what is this? Level 69. Nice. And we're ready to go into the final dungeon of a Dragonflight. Well, what? Of Dragonflight? I wish at some point today, I wish this was the final dungeon. It looks like we're just holding W and running forward. This is going to be very interesting. But then again, it is a normal dungeon, so it shouldn't be too hard to survive this. Although the tank's kind of just falling over, even though he thinks he's a big tough guy. All right, well, I'm gonna send out Stumpy, Lumpy, and Steve. Everybody's in on this party. I'm gonna try and get some actual interrupts in. Things are dying very quickly, but some of my group members that are unable to reach us are also dying even quicker, so I'm not sure exactly what to do with myself. Time to start putting out rejuvenations, I guess. So far, so good. For a shit show pull with people not being ready for it, it went surprisingly well. Oh, this is the tank. There's just some DPS pulling for the tank. No wonder it's a shit show. Okay, that explains things. I thought that the tank was pulling all this stuff. It wasn't. It was just this 1.2 mil HP rogue. I'm assuming that's like a yep, they're decked out. It says 26k DPS. No, that's from previous. They're actually not even doing that much damage. This is just how easy normal dungeons are, I guess. That's weird. Anyway, I'm a little confused. I'm just as confused as that Brackenhide run, honestly. This is starting to feel more and more like Remix, where there's just one person that does a bazillion damage and everyone else just gets to follow them around while they play the game. Guess we're just killing all of these instead of, okay, yeah, I mean, that works. It's efficient, I guess. I just haven't had a chance. There was 1 or 2 runs during leveling with time walking dungeons where I actually got a chance to like test out how much HPS I can do, and it was because there were 2 warriors that were clearly very new at the game, and I'm not trying to insult them. They were just very clearly new at the game. They didn't know where to go or what to do, and they were standing in well, basically inside of the boss on the boss fight in not Tempest Keep, what is it called? Vortex Pinnacle. That's the one. In Vortex Pinnacle, they were just standing inside of the boss's hitbox and just taking a bazillion damage. We're going to try and interrupt that. I wasn't able to do so, unfortunately. I am so slow. This is ridiculous. Movement speed by 25%, but I feel like I'm super duper slow, like way more than that, and I just got slept because nobody's kicking these. This is such an annoying way to play the game. Why are we doing this? I have the shapeshift to get out of this, and I can't even reach the mobs. I think that slow is what was annoying me the most. 25% movement speed, it said, but it felt like a lot more. We're gonna kick that sleep. We're going to roar this binding because I don't want to get rooted again. There we go. It's just the rogue doing damage. They're not even doing that much damage, but I guess they can't really do much damage since things die in 2 hits. And they're an assassination rogue. But still, this is not a fun way to play the game. I don't know why this rogue is even doing normal dungeons. What could they possibly wish to like get from doing normal dungeons? Maybe they're spamming it for the ring, for the Audic mount? I don't know. They probably would have left after the first boss if they were spamming it for the ring. I don't know. Honestly, with the gear they have, they could probably just do the dungeon on their own, farm it like on normal. They don't need to queue up for dungeons if they're farming it for the ring. I don't know. I'm just assuming here. Anyway, I haven't really done any healing because things have died too fast for me to do any healing because, yeah. So, Resto Druid leveling. Leveling as a healer in general, you don't learn shit. You just kind of get carried and blasted through dungeons. Even the tank. Okay, I see. These guys are a 4 stack. All 4 of them are from the same guild. And the rogue is literally just walking through the dungeon and killing everything for them. Is he like boosting them or something? This is kind of ridiculous. Well, he's boosting me too, so the boss is already dead. Jesus. All right, I guess I'll just treat the rogue like the tank. So we're gonna put life bloom on the rogue. Not that the rogue needs it. He's just kind of walking through the dungeon, like I said. We give movement speed. Rogue wants to kill these, so we follow the rogue. Let me actually put square on the rogue just so I know where the rogue's going. There we go. Kick icy bindings just so people don't get rooted, so they can keep following. I'll put some dots on that and move on. This is so silly. Like, look, even the tank, he's straight up sitting here waiting for the rogue to show up so he can... So stupid. What's the point of doing that? Just boost him in Brackenhide then or something. I don't know. I guess they can't really do that in Brackenhide. This might be more efficient. If this is boosting, why don't they just go do time walking? Time walking would be way faster than this because they get more EXP from time walking too. I don't know. Everything about this is just weird, and I'm gonna stop talking about it now. But yeah, impressions on Resto Druid so far. I have no freaking idea, dude, because every dungeon is like this. Every single dungeon has been like this. Literally just hold W. Some people take a little tiny bit of damage and then I get to heal a bit, but I have no idea if I'm healing a lot because it's a leveling dungeon or because I'm doing something correctly. My understanding of the class is that I keep life bloom on one target and myself, presumably the tank, and then hot everyone else up and just keep putting Lumpy, Dumpy, and Steve out, which, to be clear, those are the Grove Guardians that I just called that for some reason. I really don't have a good reason to call them that, except for Lumpy. He's got a weird lump, so we call him Lumpy. Anyway, it's just been a shit show from start to finish, this whole leveling thing. And there's level 70. Speaking of which, now I can... Part of me wants to just leave this dungeon because I don't think I need to be here. We can't go because this looter's still alive, so I'm just gonna shoot him with a couple of wraths. Can I go over now? Yes, I can, thankfully. Who lost their buff? Let me just rebuff them then, I guess. Oh, maybe here I'll be able to actually do some healing. No, never mind. The rogue's gonna one-shot the boss and then I have nothing to heal. Let's see. Can the rogue kill the boss so fast? Yeah. That answers my question. That's so stupid. What is this? What did so much damage? Oh, they have Grief Torch, so they just kind of press their button on the boss and it dies. Oh well. I'm gonna stealth, so I got a tiny bit of extra damage here. Not that it matters. My damage is inconsequential. What word was that even? Okay, well, the boss is shedding crystals, but and now he shed his life force. Get me the hell out of this. That was such a shit show. I'm sorry. Like, these last two dungeon runs, I know that I did one at 60, the Brackenhide, and it was just a shit show as well, because I was like looking at the other screen at a movie when the dungeon started, so I got left behind and I got flustered. But this one was a shit show for a completely different reason. Also, I know this build is stupid. It's just my leveling build. Ignore it for now. We're level 70. Yay. I don't know what to think. What I'm going to try and do now is probably just do the weekly quest, I guess. The worst thing is Assault on Dragonbane Keep literally just started 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to have to be up for quite a while if I want to get this done before the reset, which I do. So I think that's what I'm going to do, just to get a bit of extra, like just get the extra champion piece, maybe a few veteran pieces from doing the weekly content, world content or whatever. I guess since I'm waiting 2 hours, I'll also have time to do 5 more time walking raid bosses or dungeons, which will be the Cache of Awakened Treasures. So I'll have all of that done for the next episode. And in the next episode, I'll do all the weekly stuff again and probably just get started with like some M+. No real reason to wait or anything like that. But yeah, that's been the leveling journey. Like I said, I have no idea what to tell you about how Resto Druid plays because leveling a Resto Druid has been I just kind of hot people up and then go kitty form and like scratch things and they die and then we run to the next pack. I have no idea how this is going to turn out when I go into Mythic Plus and actually face some bosses that do like big damage events. I feel like I'm going to panic and it's going to be a shit show, but at least it'll be funny. But that's pretty much the end of this episode. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. And if you're feeling particularly generous, you can become a channel member. Channel members have guaranteed replies to their comments and they get nice little shout outs at the beginning of episodes. But as always, thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you in the next episode. And now the signature stare into the camera after doing the outro. Does it feel awkward? Good. Good. Is it good? I don't know.